Before we begin, this is a video that I didn't plan on making. I have a long list of other games I
That
wanted
was
to cover
funny,
first,
actually.
but a few weeks
The
ago
logo
I was
bomb.
looking for something fun to play in my spare time. I wanted something that would give me some nice dopamine hits that I could play casually to relax with. So I downloaded Old School Runescape, created
Alright.
my first ever Iron Man character, and what followed was a 2-week gaming binge where within 10
I've noticed that a lot. A lot of people that are like just getting into RuneScape now are going straight into Iron Man for some reason. I mean, hey, if that's how you want to play the game, that's how you want to play the game. I do have to say that is the way to play the game if you don't want any pay the win elements into the game, because technically bonds are pay the win if you use them. But let's keep going.
days I had 120 hours of playtime and became completely addicted to the game. So in this
That's
video
how
we're
it
going to talk
works.
about Old School
That's
RuneScape
how
in
it works.
2024. Is it worth playing? What's new?
RuneScape sucks you in like no other game.
Is it too late to start if you've never played RuneScape before?
Nope.
And how the hell could a 20-year-old point and click game ruin my life for 2 weeks as a fully grown adult? But
Because it is the greatest game ever made, hands down.
first, today's sponsor, Sword of Convallaria, a brand new
Oh, looks
turn-based
pretty.
tactical RPG with a captivating story, deep strategy, and unforgettable characters. With over 120 hours of single-player gameplay and more content online, you'll be immersed in a world filled with tactical battles where every decision matters. Lead your team of mercenaries through dynamic 3D terrain, strategizing your moves with environmental interactions to outmaneuver your opponents. But what's really cool is that the choices you make throughout this game will shape the fate of Iria and lead to one of many unique endings. What I love most about Sword of Convallaria is the depth of the characters and the world building. Each character has a unique backstory and motivations, and the political intrigue and hidden truths will keep you guessing. Plus, the 3D-like pixel art graphics are absolutely
It is
stunning,
really nice.
with vibrant
I
landscapes and
love the
detailed
pixel
character
art
designs
for
that
this.
really bring the world to life. And to top it all off, the game's soundtrack is composed by the legendary Hitoshi Sakamoto,
Looks really good.
whose music has graced many beloved classics including Final Fantasy and Ogre Battle. So what are you waiting for? Join me on this epic journey and
Nice.
discover the fate of Iria in Sword of Convallaria. Link in description, download the game now and use my code SOCTLP to get rewards and experience an epic adventure. So first of all, let me
So I missed. I'm guessing that's a mobile game. See, that's the thing, is like games like that look so good, and then you play them and you're like, I wish it was like just a real game, like a cash grab or something.
explain that there's two different versions of RuneScape. You've got Old School RuneScape and RuneScape 3. TLDR, OSRS and RuneScape 3 are completely different games. OSRS is
Yeah.
more popular, less microtransactions, simpler gameplay, and has tons of incredible content creators on both YouTube and Twitch, so I prefer to play that version.
You know what's funny is like this may be a hot topic for people that are mostly old school players, but I really don't mind the evolution of combat mechanics that they added with. Now this is what I'm saying though, is like the way when they added it to where it was like it auto cast them, so it was more like, you were just doing more damage and it would auto do your abilities for you. I think once that they did that, I think the combat feels pretty good. I have never done any of the late game end game content though, like bossing and stuff in that game. So I don't know like if you can use that for the bosses in RS3. So that's something I don't know. You may have to actually physically, manually do the spells and stuff to be more efficient. That could be a possibility. I have no idea, but it really isn't that bad. If you do use like their like hybrid system thing. And I do like some of the skills that they added into our RS3 as well. I have no problem with RS3 except for the when they started adding all the extra, like, I'd even mind double XP really, because who cares? It's just a game in the end of the day. And you're not really competing. There is a high score thing, but you're really never gonna be at the top unless a new skill comes out and you no life it, and you're the first person to get 200 mil experience in that skill. Like, does it really matter? You know what I mean? So Because I don't really care if something's easier. Then I mean, I did 99 rune crafting when I was like 12 years old, just going through the abyss, and now there's so many much more easier ways to do it, even in old school RuneScape. So it is what it is.
RuneScape 3, I made a full video on it last year, so check that out if you want to know more about that game. So I basically log into Old School, create a new character, do Tutorial Island, and at the end
Nice
I'm given
pigtails.
a choice to make my character an Iron Man or just a standard character. I decided to try Iron Man for the first time because this game...
I feel like people that do Ultimate Iron Man are just insane. Like, not even having a bank and only having your inventory is insane.
Mode is absolutely zero pay to win. You cannot trade with other players, every item in the game you must obtain yourself, and basically every accomplishment feels earned. I do have a standard main account for OSRS, but I kinda lost interest in that since I could skip a lot of content by buying bonds, selling them for GP, and at that point any valuable drop you do get doesn't feel as impactful.
I mean, that's understandable if you are someone that buys bonds and whatever, and then you overdo it, and then if you get say if you spend money so that you can buy Bando's armor or something, and then when you finally get that Bando's drop, you're just pretty much making your money back, so you're not gonna be like freaking out like, oh my god, I finally have it, or because you already have it, so that is kind of gone. I could see where he's coming from in that situation, but at the same time though, you're still making money, so I guess. I mean, I don't know. Everyone's different with what they think. I personally I maybe bought. I think I dropped on my newest account that I made because I wanted to speed things up a little bit. I did spend some money on bonds, but I don't see that as a negative for me. Because I've already done it before, but if you're a new player and you do that, I could see why. Because it's drops are drops in my opinion.
The first few hours of playing my Iron Man, I could feel myself becoming more and more addicted. I didn't record anything during this time because I was playing for fun and not content, but every quest completion, every time I earned a GP, every tiny upgrade, the dopamine was nuts. It was also during this time where I really saw how different Old School RuneScape is in 2024 compared to a few years ago. First of all, the Runlight plugin client is now officially supported by...
Yeah, it is insane how helpful Runelight is, and Jagex, I do believe, also has their own version of Runelight that they're putting into their client. I think they're trying to slowly wean out Runelight if they can, and bring the Runelight people over into just the normal Jagex client. I believe that's what they're trying to do, but it is a game changer.
By Jagex and can be opened directly through the RuneScape launcher. 70% of the player base play the game through Runelight, and the plugins you can get for it nowadays have literally transformed the game.
Dude, the agility plugin is so for rooftops is so good, and any of the courses, and then you can also get for the Hollow Spectre, you can get a plugin for that makes it easier. There's so many, and the bank tags, all the most of the stuff that's on here right now that's showing is just some of the good ones that are really great. And then there's even more ones like HD ones, which I don't know, maybe he'll bring that up too. So it makes the game look better. There's all kinds of stuff that just so much quality of life. And Quest Helper, oh my god, Quest Helper is amazing.
One of the biggest complaints about OSRS I see from my viewers is to do with the graphics being too big.
Oh, see, he's
well, not anymore, because if you enable HD, increase the draw distance, enable animation smoothing, and maybe change the UI.
I didn't even know about the animation smoothing one, to be honest. I just used the HD, the 17 one, the 117 HD. That's the only one I use.
Just look at this difference. Also, if you like the old style, even that's improved if you enable the GPU plugin, which makes the game look less
I knew about
pixelated.
that one, but I don't use it because I use the
also
HD
gives you
thing.
better camera options, much more in-depth UI customization, change the controls, highlight tiles and objects. Basically, if you can think of it, there's
tile
probably
indicator
a plugin for it. But the biggest way Runelight's plugins have...
Dude, The other one is the Clue Helper. Oh my god, Clue Helper is so amazing.
Changed my experience with RuneScape this time around is with my favourite plugin of all, the Quest Helper.
Yeah.
RuneScape has the best quests in the entire MMO genre, it's not even close, but admittedly I've always followed quest guides to do them because they're quite in-depth.
This is the biggest reason too. Like with RS3, you don't have the quest helper thing, and the quest guides. Sometimes I remember I used to have to use, what was it back in the day, Rune HQ, I think it was, or something like that, or the wiki you could use too, or just YouTube videos. Who's that one? Slayer Music. He's amazing. If you don't know who that is, but yeah, I mean Rune HQ back in the day. Oh my god.
Often require obscure items and sometimes take hours to complete. With Quest Helper, it literally allows you to turn your brain off, follow the instructions, and it will hold your hand until the quest is complete, letting you know if you've made a mistake or forgot an item.
Yeah.
For someone like me who's already done certain quests a bunch
I'll
of times,
actually even go a step further than this. Is like I'm not gonna lie, I'll use quest helper, and then like if there's a boss fight that I don't remember, I'll watch like Slayer Music or someone's video for just the boss fight part, just to see like the mechanics if there are any, and then I'll like, I'll use both the video and the quest
their
helper.
accounts. This made the entire process of progressing a new character so much more enjoyable. I went so hard on the questing with my Iron Man for like 8 days straight, and very quickly got to over 1,000 total level with over 70 quests completed.
Yeah.
I've never spammed.
I've used to hate quests back in the day because I had to use like Rune HQ, like I said, or follow a video, and then I'll get like have to keep rewinding because I can't keep up or something. But once Quest Helper, I started using that, dude. It was the first time I ever got a max cape.
Quests in RuneScape so fast before, but thanks to Quest Helper, it was actually fun to do so. Unfortunately for my Iron Man, he lost his hardcore status super early. I was doing the Waterfall quest and didn't actually realise the moss giants inside the tomb can hit a 14, so they max hit me and I had my first death on day 2. I probably should have started over at that point, but I decided not to, as I wanted to learn more about the game so that when I do decide to do a hardcore Iron Man again in the future, I'd have better games.
See, that's another thing. I know I'm pausing. I'm sorry. But I am trying to add content to this and reaction, get my own thoughts. I personally, I don't ever do Waterfall first. I know a lot of people say it's like the first thing you should do on a new account, but like when I make a new account, it's because I want to go back to the like nostalgia of when I was like a kid, and I would just kill cows and chickens and goblins and stuff like that. So I have no problem spending the 4 hours, leveling up my skills, my early combat skills at like cows or chickens or something like that, or sand crabs even, Like I have no problem doing that, and then I'll go get the free experience later. You know what I mean? Like I know it's faster to do it that way, but I don't know. Like I'm not like a super like sweaty player either, you know what I mean? So everyone's got their own way they do things. I just thought I'd just throw that in there for fun.
Game knowledge. Another big change I noticed with OSRS in 2024 is to do with the training methods and XP rates for skills. The last time I played this game, rune crafting was notorious for being one of the shittest, most boring skills to train in the entire game.
Like I said in another video, I actually enjoy it. I love this minigame, to be honest.
That's not the case thanks to a new rune crafting minigame Jagex added called Guardians of the Rift. I really enjoy this minigame, and it's actually made rune crafting one of my favourite skills now. There's also new methods for training farming with farming contracts, hunter with hunting contracts, as well as a bunch of...
The hunter contracts are amazing. Like, they really, really, really help make the lower levels of hunter way more bearable and fun. And then I don't know. I really like that. I've never done the farming contracts. The only thing I do with farming is I just plant normal trees and that's it. I don't do hardwoods. I don't do fruit trees. I don't even do herb runs. I know I should, but I'm too lazy. I just feel like it's too much going out of my way, and I don't even do my normal trees every single day. I do them whenever I feel like running around for 5 minutes or whatever it takes. I am very bad when it comes to doing that stuff. Just like with Herbler, or not, I meant Hunter, I don't do birdhouses because to me it's just tedious. And if I'm doing something, I just want to focus on whatever I'm doing.
Of other new methods that I haven't even had the chance to try yet. As I continued to play my Iron Man, I found myself digging deeper and deeper into the RuneScape rabbit hole, looking at all the stuff that would be waiting for me at endgame. There's a lot.
Yep.
If you're into PvE or PvM as it's known as in RuneScape, there's an insane amount of stuff. You've got 3 different raids, Slayer bosses, world bosses, instanced bosses, mini-game bosses, and skilling bosses. To complete all of this stuff, especially on an Iron Man, we're talking about thousands of hours of progress, and that's not even mentioning the time it'd take to actually get good enough to beat the hardest content the game has to offer. On the PvP side of things, the main thing I've dipped my toes into since returning is the Last Man Standing game mode, which is super fun.
I still haven't tried this out.
PKing without risking anything.
I'm not a big PvPer though.
Worlds which allow you to duel with friends in whatever gear setup, inventory.
I do know there is a reason to do it though.
I especially love these PvP
Sorry,
worlds.
I'm talking over him. I know there's a reason why people do it for Iron Man accounts. I don't do it personally. I can't remember exactly what it is, but there's a certain thing that you get from it. It may be a rune pouch or something like that, if I'm thinking correctly. But I'm not a huge PvPer, never have been. The most PvP I did in RuneScape was like, I was probably like, it was like 2006, 7, somewhere in there when I was in like 6th, 7th grade. And we'd go do like free to play like range pures, and that was about the extent of what I would do.
Because I remember back in the day when I used to play, I used to spend a lot of money on GP for supplies to practice dueling with friends. For new players looking to get into Old School RuneScape's PvP, you can basically learn everything with almost no barrier to entry nowadays. Then, when you're finally good enough, you can go deep into the wilderness to hunt for other players to take their sweet, sweet loot.
It is a really
quite a polarizing.
I'm not gonna lie, it can be a really great way to make fast money if you're good at it, though.
Game for people who have never played it before. If you've never played the game before, you'd probably take one look at it and think, "Is that it?" It's literally just turn-based auto-attack combat. You click on something and it dies. Where's the skill in that? Which is
only in the early game.
But one thing you'll quickly learn is that despite seeming incredibly simple, the skill ceiling in RuneScape is probably one of the highest in the MMO genre.
Spot on. The skill ceiling in RuneScape is ridiculous. Not even just for combat, but for skilling. Like, the things that people do is insane. Like, how people even figure the stuff out with the tick manipulation for like even just fishing or something, where they're like, you drop this item and then you click this and then you touch this tar, and you know what I mean? Like the clicking stuff that people do in this game is insane with the manipulation of ticks. And it's not even just for combat, like just normal skills. People find ways to do it like faster and more efficient, and it's insane.
For me to explain exactly why this is the case, it'd take an entire video on its own explaining things like the tick rate, prayer flicking, how movement works, and a bunch of other stuff that'll sound like a foreign language to the casual viewer that typically watches my videos. So instead I'll just say that on the high end of RuneScape gameplay,
RuneScape people are built different, that's for sure.
The game plays like an FPS.
The hardcore people anyway.
Rather than a typical MMO.
Exactly.
That's from one of the best PKs in the game. Just look at the speed of the mouse and the precision of the clicks. It's so insane that it's hard to even wrap my head around.
That actually is a great way to explain it. RuneScape is actually like a rhythm game. Like it is, because the tick cycle, and so like you have to, especially if you're trying the 1 tick or 2 tick or 3 tick things, or just like something like this, that's just I'll probably never be able to do this, because he's doing like I'm pretty sure this is not just the normal Leviathan. I'm pretty sure this is like the hard,
There's a clip
like,
from one of the
insane
best
one.
PVM players taking on the Awakened Leviathan
Yeah, the
boss.
Awakened one.
Once again, insane click precision, perfect player movement, and incredible timing. RuneScape has content for players of all levels.
Yeah, so like the thing that people, so like, even if you're just watching this and you don't know anything about RuneScape, you may think like, oh, it don't look that hard, it don't look that bad, but what you don't understand is that this person is moving, he's clicking here, clicking between these while watching this guy and seeing what he's doing, and then also like dodging these stone falling boulders. So he's doing 2, 3, 4, 5, like 6. He's doing like 6 things all in like 1 second. 1 second. So he not only does he have to see this and watch this, he has to look over here and also look to make sure there's no rocks in his way. Although I think that you can get these to stack up a certain way with a pattern, which is another like skill thing that you have to remember. So like it's insane the amount of like focus and like just because your eyes constantly have to be moving and you one misclick and you're dead.
But definitely don't let the game's simplicity fool you into thinking there's no challenger endgame, because that couldn't be further from the truth, and honestly most players will never become good enough to beat all of the content. So is RuneScape worth playing in 2024? Is it too late to start playing if you've never played the game before? Honestly, one of the main reasons I returned to the game was that I realised RuneScape is simply a timeless MMO. In terms of actual design, how everything in the game is interconnected from skills to quests, level requirements, items...
This is something I haven't done yet either. I have like a bunch of these in my bank, the ensouled heads, but like I haven't yet done it. I don't know, I just never got around to trying it or doing it. But it is a really cool way that they added to train your prayer. And if you don't know, basically what you do, you get these ensouled head random drops from monsters around the world, and then you bring it to this dark altar thing, and then it reanimates them, and you kill them for a prayer experience, which is really cool.
Progression, it's simply the most perfectly designed MMORPG that's ever been made. Old School Runescape will still be here in 10 years time. It's constantly being updated, and my biggest regret is that I didn't play Iron Man mode sooner or keep up to date with all of the new content that's been added. It's a game that you can play as actively or as AFK as you want.
The first time you
Want to do
did beat
200
Dragon
APM
Slayer
raids or
as a
PK,
kid, that
you
was
can do
so
that.
hype.
Want to AFK train combat,
Finally get to wear the
trees, or
rune,
fish whilst
full
playing
rune.
another game on your main monitor, you can also do that. I definitely don't think it's too
That and
late
Green
to
Dragon
start
Hide.
playing OSRS, since it has a massive growing player base, and personally when it comes to community, I think this game has the best community out of every other MMO. Additionally, the content creators that cover this game are also S tier.
I love this stuff. Like this part of Ratcatcher where you're just you're playing the rat flute or snake flute, whatever it is, and you just making these rats commit suicide into the water. Like RuneScape quests are hands down the best quests of any like MMO.
Yeah. Like when I play WoW, there was maybe 5 to 10 content creators that I'd watch, but for RuneScape, there's like 20 plus who I'd consider top tier.
There's so many good creators in RuneScape.
An interesting question to ask would be, is this game successful purely because of nostalgia? And personally, I don't think so, and I have put this to the test. I showed OSRS to my girlfriend last week, and at first glance, she laughed at the game and didn't want to play it. I told her, play it for 5 hours and just trust me that it's good. 1 week later, she's still playing and starting to get addicted, so there's gotta be something more to it than just nostalgia. Usually I do a pros...
Yeah, no, nostalgia only works for those of us who played it when we were kids, because we know how good the game is. And then all these new people that are coming now and trying the game are finally understanding, like, once they get past the graphics and stuff, that there is such a deep level of just the intuitive nature of like the way they put everything together and everything connects and everything helps, like one thing helps another thing, and then like you have to, like, all the quests are purposefully put, and they're well written, and they're funny, and they're cheeky, whatever you want to say. And they a lot of them build you up to getting like really important upgrades for your character that you'll use pretty much for the rest of your time playing the game. And it's just everything's so well thought out. This is probably one of the most well thought out games ever made.
And cons list for these
And that's
types
the
of videos,
reason.
but I feel like
That's the real reason why this game stands the test of time and is timeless, is because it's so well done.
I've rambled on and gushed too much about the game already, so I'll just put some pros and cons on screen so you can read them for yourself.
Alright, what do you got? Oh, of course, we get an ad. Best questing, hands down. There's not even a question. Most quests and other MMOs is just the Slayer skill in this game. Best variety of mini games. I do have to say there are some really fun mini games, but sadly a lot of them are kind of dead now because everyone wants to play so efficiently, or they're just ran by like bots. One of the best communities, I would say, yeah, people are pretty helpful for the most part. You also have to watch though. There are some people that are little douches and will try to scam you or lure you into the wilderness. Yeah, they're free to play. There is a lot of content in just free to play alone. To be honest, so even if you don't want to like jump right into members, there's still a lot for free to play people to go. And I would even go to say that the free to play worlds are actually more more, what do you want to say? They have more people talking in them. They're a lot more lively feeling because those are the people that are playing just to have fun. People in free to play aren't really as sweaty. They're actually like, I would say like free to play is probably actually way more social. So if you're looking for social, you might just want to just stay in free to play, to be honest. Community voted updates is huge. I think that's another big reason why this game is killing it and still growing, and because they make everyone votes for what they want, and there's times where they'll be working on something and then they'll poll it, and then people will say no, we don't want that, and they just scrap it. Or there are some times though where they'll wait a couple months and then try to re-poll it type thing. They're like, are you sure you don't want it? So there are a couple times where they've done that. But for the most part, like, it's not like World of Warcraft where they're just like, we don't care, you're getting it, and then people hate it. Great variety of both PvP and PvE, yes. Although PvP is a little bit more niche nowadays, I feel like. Although there are some really good, I feel like outside of like the PvP mini games, like just if you're in the wilderness isn't really that bad anymore. There's not a whole lot of PvPers, although they just did a wilderness rework. So I don't know. I haven't really been out there since they've done that. It could be more populated now. Yeah, it says it has probably some of the hardest content in any MMO, hands down. It makes World of Warcraft's content look like easy peasy. No transmogs. Yeah, in RS3 they have those prestige items and achievements that players can show off. Yes, they do, like the Fire Cape, Inferno Cape, like the Vanguard helm thing. There's a bunch of stuff like that. And think of maybe some other ones like the Mage Capes. The skill capes. So there's a lot in RuneScape. Yeah, mobile. Yep, least pay to win. Massive open world. Yeah, it's huge. RuneScape is huge. And because of agility and potions and the fairy rings and all that stuff. You don't really need like mounts like you do in other games. It's really easy to get around the world, even though it is really huge. There's so many ways of transportation. The seasonal gameplay modes are actually legit sick in this game. You pretty much don't have to make a new character. You just go into whatever it is, whether it be leagues or deadman mode or whatever, and you just have fun. It's like almost like a private server of the game that they let you play for a couple months. And yeah, the AFK aspect is huge in this game. I'd say yeah, they have the most. Yes. Multiple paths, sandbox. That's exactly what this game is. It's a sandbox game. You can do whatever you want, when you want, go at any pace you want. There's no rush. You'll eventually get there as long as you keep playing. Yeah, all this is true. Cons. Some people might not like the point and click. Yeah, that's true. Some people just although that once you get into it, it's nice. Yeah, it's very grindy. It's a little less grindy nowadays, but it's still pretty grindy. This is one that I don't really care about. It is what it is. I don't think bots really do that much bad in the game personally. This is a huge huge thing that will probably get me a lot of hate, but like I really don't give a shit if someone wants to bot. Go do it. You want to take that risk, go for it. Who cares? All they really do is just make some things a little bit cheaper, and I don't really care because it's a game. It's not real life. It's not serious. Bonds do the same thing. You know what I mean? Like, who cares? Like, I do think there is a difference though. Like, if you have a huge massive bot farm and you're doing it to sell gold for real money, I do kind of have a problem with that for the most, you know what I mean? But like if someone's just botting thieving or something like that and they're not selling it and they're just doing it because they don't want to get carpal tunnel or something like that, I don't give a crap. Who cares? You know what I mean? It's like it's a game. Who gives a crap? That's my opinion on it. I mean, you could think I'm wrong. You could think that I'm an idiot. I don't care. In the end of the day, it's not serious. As long as you're not real world trading, I don't care. To become super good at PvP, you're basically forced to play a small client size for advantage. I don't know too much about that. It could be true, but I mean, you can probably set things up to where it's not as far. The reason for that, if you don't, is because if things are closer to click. So, I mean, hotkeys could fix that, in my opinion, maybe. But then I don't know. There's ways. I think you could do it on either size. If you don't play an Ironman, the fact that you can buy and sell bonds to do, that's personal opinion type thing as well. Like that's just how you feel about it. PvP gets disproportionately less updates. Yeah, I mean, most people don't really like PvP. Awful customer support. Never really had to deal with them, so I don't know. Personally, I don't know if that's true or not. I'm assuming this has to do with false bans, maybe. And in my opinion, if you look like a bot, you act like a bot, probably a bot.
Yes! 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 Oh, they said it couldn't be done!
Oh my gosh, I'm really gonna die! Oh my gosh! What?
Holy sh! The mini map you guys made it! That is some impressive coordination.
Look how happy it is! The hit didn't even score!
That's funny. Looks. First Infernal Keep.
And that's pretty much it for this video. TLDW, right now I'm completely addicted to the game, and I can't believe how many good changes there's been since the last time I played. RuneScape Iron Man mode is definitely one of the most fun and addictive experiences I've ever had in an MMO. If you're a new player to Old School Runescape that never played it back in the day, I'd love to hear your experiences with the game so far in the comments below. Do you think this game is genuinely good due to its game design, or is it popular only because of nostalgia? I saw Asmongold react to a video from Jimmy about this topic recently, and I actually disagree with Asmon on this one, so it'd be cool to hear from people who got into the game only recently. But that's it for this video. If you enjoyed, help us out with a like for the algorithm.
Great video, man. I'm already subscribed. You guys should subscribe to him as well, and also give the video a like and watch the video yourself if you haven't yet. And yeah, and if you want, you can like and subscribe to me as well. And I hope you guys enjoyed that video. It was a lot of fun to make, and I'll keep making them. And you know, we'll see how this goes. Anyways, I'll see you guys next time. Peace.